Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be reviewing a product called 1Q32 Instant Gellish, and I haven't even opened the bottle yet. I started to and realized there was a safety seal, which I think is kind of cool, so you know that that hasn't been opened. So I'm going to peel that off. This cures with either a UV or an LED lamp. I happen to have an LED lamp from a Sensation Ale kit that I have. And so let me just go ahead and go through the application. So first, we open the bottle, and this is a extremely bright pink. It's almost a neon pink. What is this one? Oh, it doesn't have a name. It's called QB51. That's the number of the color. Okay. So the key with this, according to their instructions, is that you want to put the first coat on very, very thin. So my nails are bare. I've cleaned them off with like an alcohol-based type of thing to get all of my natural oils and stuff off of my nails. And so what I'm going to do is just put this on extremely thin, and this, I will say, the application goes on nice. It's very smooth. The brush is very smooth. You want to make sure you don't get any polish on your skin. If you do, you have to clean it off before you cure it. Otherwise, it hardens onto your skin, and that's not cool. So what you'll do is you do that very thin first coat, and then you cure it under a lamp. Now here's my LED lamp. So when I press my button, I put my nail in there, and I'm going to cure that for a minute. Before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and put the full thin coat on all of the nails and then cure them for a minute, and then I'll come back for the next layer. Okay, so my minute is up right now, and it is instantly dry because it's not really a polish, it's a gel. So it's cured, which means that it's hardened. With the other gel colors that I have, first you have to put down, you have to kind of file your nail down a little bit, then you have to put on the primer, then there's base coat, then there's the color, and then there's a top coat. Where this is literally just, you just clean the nail and then start applying color. So let's go ahead with the second coat. I'm going to try and keep that kind of thin as well, but that second coat can be just slightly thicker than the first, just to make sure that I get full coverage. I'm going to make sure to kind of cap the end as well, because I've noticed when you cure it, it tends to almost shrink a little bit, so you'll end up looking like you have tip wear in the beginning, so you want to make sure you really do cover that tip well. One thing about this though is this bottle, because this formula is so thick and the bottle opening is very thin, when you go to press it in, I'm doing it really slowly because what I'm noticing is that there seem to be like almost like little bubbles coming out in this stuff. So I don't want to have bubbles in the surface of my nail, so I'm almost having to make sure that I get those bubbles out of the surface. I don't know that I've actually seen that with my other gel polish, so that's a little weird, but okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cure that again for another full minute. Okay, so here we are with two coats. It's got a nice kind of shine to it. It's not like super shiny, but it's got a decent shine. The one thing that I didn't mention too is that there's no real strong smell with this stuff. So the smell, I mean, it barely smells like anything at all. It definitely doesn't smell like nail polish because it really isn't. And for some reason, I don't know why this is, but with other gels, after you've cured it, there's usually this sort of like filmy, sticky layer that you have to wipe off with cleanser. This doesn't even have that. So once it's cured, it's completely ready to go. So that's one nice bonus to this. It is rather pricey as far as gel polishes are concerned, but I believe that's mostly because everything is all in one step. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wear this for as many days as it goes until it starts to chip. it should be almost 2 weeks, but we'll see how it goes. My previous experience with gel polishes have been maybe about 8 or 9 days before they start to chip, which, you know, as you know, compared to regular polish is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and wear this, and I'll come back and show you where we are then. Okay, so I am back, and it has been about 8 days. Actually, this is the 9th day I have them on. And as you can see, I am just starting to get a slight amount of chipping in the tips here on that, and there's a small chip on my thumb. Very, very minimal, but I basically was planning on wearing this until it started to chip. So I would say, all things considered, 8 or 9 days is actually very good. I would say that is about the same as it is for my Sensation L1. I believe I have had gels professionally done at a salon, and they do last the 2 weeks. So these don't last quite as long as salon, but they're still much, much better than regular polish. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I also wanted to make a note. On this hand, I did the regular prep on my natural nail where I, made sure I cleaned it off. I did sort of test it with my other hand. And this one is sort of a different color because after about 4 or 5 days, this one just sort of had this huge chunk that fell off of it. And I firmly believe it's got to be because I didn't prepare my natural nails properly. So that part of the steps is very important. With that being said, let's go ahead and remove it. If I would have had top coat over these, I would have probably tried to remove the top coat first before I do this foil method. But since I don't have a top coat because this is a one-step polish, I'm going to just do the regular foil method of removal. So what I've done is I've taken cotton balls. I've actually cut them in half because I don't need a full cotton ball to cover my nail. And I'm going to use some pure acetone. So I'm going to soak that cotton ball with the acetone. I'm going to place it right over the nail. And then I've cut pieces of aluminum foil, which I am going to use to wrap my fingers. Okay? Got to squeeze gently so you don't have remover coming out over the top. The other thing is I have put cuticle oil on all of around the skin around my fingers first because acetone will be very drying to the skin. I also think I'm going to try on at least one of the nails. I'm going to try just some plain chapstick and try to put a little extra barrier because I just worry my skin around my nails is always so dry. As you can see earlier in the video, I have a lot of cuticle issues. So I'm going to try and protect those even a little bit more with this. Okay, then I'm going to do the foil around all of them. I'm going to let that soak for about 10 minutes and then I'll come back and show you how it looks when we remove it. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes and I'm ready to pull this off and see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is kind of squeeze it so that it kind of pulls along the fingernail. And as I remove it, slowly, it comes off. And you can see the skin is real white. That's being dried out, of course, from the acetone, which we'll follow up with some cuticle oil. And then I just use like a metal scraper to very gently. You have to be really careful on your natural nail. You don't want to scrape, or damage your natural nail. So I'm just gently kind of scraping to get any little bits off. Okay? Any other little bits, I might use some acetone and kind of pull that off, but basically it comes off pretty clean. So then what I'm going to do is follow that up with some cuticle oil to make sure that my fingers are moisturized. And then I'll come back and finish up. Okay, so here it is fully removed with the cuticle oil to get rid of that whiteness, and we are good as new, ready for my next manicure. So, once again, this is 1Q32 gel polish, and I would say overall the experience was pretty good. I would say that it's about as good as other home gel polishes. So I will have links in the description box for how to obtain this type of polish. They have lots of colors to choose from, and that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.